The film you have just seen, the video you've just seen, was filmed by a Pacific Union College student. I'd like to have you come up, Tim Wolf. Well, Tim, what do you think of your picture?
I enjoy it.
You enjoy it, I know. You were in Mozambique for how long?
3 months.
3 months. And in that 3 months, you spent a ton of your time wandering around the countryside with Elmer. I want you to give me 2 memories that stick out for you about Elmer.
Okay, one was when we were in the grocery store.
Now, I need to clarify this grocery store thing. If that's the one thing I would take out of it.
Okay.
Because it just looks like it doesn't belong. There are 2 of those stores in the entire country of Mozambique.
And we got kicked out of one of them.
Good job!
That was one of the memories. And, I don't know, probably just camping and hanging out with him.
Camping in the bush.
Yeah, he's a good time.
Is it like being a Pathfinder?
I don't know, I never liked camping.
So you never liked camping and now you've been camping in Africa?
Exactly.
You ready to go back?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Why? It's fun. It's a better lifestyle. It's really laid back and easygoing and things.
But laid back and easygoing. I'm sorry, but every time I see Elmer driving his truck in your video, you're going faster than a Formula One driver.
Yeah, we didn't tell our boss about that.
You didn't tell your boss about that? But you showed the pictures. I mean, were you speeding all those up?
No.
Every time I have ridden with Elmer, I have this funny feeling I'm with Emerson Fittipaldi or Schumacher, Michael Schumacher. I'm not a Formula One driver. The guy who just drives like a nut.
It's true. We were coming back from up north one evening, and we're cruising along, and I feel the truck just swerve, and you'd see like a semi stopped in the middle of the road. Or you'd swerve, and there was a person right next to the mirror. He just barely missed. It's really dangerous, the roads. I'm
really convinced that there are at least 3 angels that travel with Elmer everywhere. One on the right bumper, one on the left. I'll get this yet. Bumpers and fenders everywhere around to make sure that no damage happens to Elmer. So if you were going to go back, you were there. You were riding on front of the truck doing video.
Yeah, holding on to a windshield wiper.
How did you survive? And you did do the one shot that I begged you to do, the one where you were down in the ground watching the truck go over the top?
Yep.
I'm proud of you. You did really well. Of all of the experiences you had while you were in Mozambique working with Miranaka, what stands out? And why was it important for you to do that?
Have you guys ever heard the song by Jack Johnson? It goes, la da 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 da. Our translator ought to. We've been listening to that song like all day repeatedly. He has learned.
We need to, I keep thinking, I'm going to take Elmer's iPod and replace it with mine.
Why?
Because you get more songs. His is limited. Yeah, I know. I know what's on his too.
I was singing the song, la da 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 da, and the translator had learned it. So it's the middle of the night, or well, it's only like 8 o'clock, but there's no power anywhere around. We're literally, half a day's drive from any electricity of any sort. So I turn on the truck and we teach all the little kids around the truck how to sing that song. And so I went to bed and woke up the next morning to la da 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 da.
I gotta tell you something about children in Mozambique. You can stop a truck anywhere in Mozambique, and within 5 minutes there will be 10 children, 20, 30 around your truck. Always. Nobody knows where they come from, but there they are. And to be able to get them to start singing a song and feeling like they have become part of your life, that's really what missions is all about. It's just perfect. Now, if you got a question you'd like to ask one of the 2 of us, just text it to that number. The rule is that if you're in church and Adventist college, I guess you text each other back and forth. At least that's what Brenda and I do.
Okay.
What?
That one, how did you shower? We took a bucket of water and you just poured it over your head. So I didn't really have a real shower for about a week. And he can go a month or so.
And Elmer can go a month?
Yeah.
No wonder he's single.
It's so true too.
Anything else? How'd you go to the bathroom?
You found the nearest tree, made sure there's no goats around.
It's everything that you and I know as expected and appropriate and sanitary. Just throw it out the window and live like you think your great-great-great-great-grandfather might have lived under a tree someplace. It's the way life is.
Okay. What did we, hey man, what did you eat down there? Food.
So what did you eat down there?
Mostly beans and rice. Elmer can't cook though. It looks really good in the pictures, but it was awful.
How can you make bad beans and rice? He found a way. No, he needs not to be single.
Man, you guys are texting too fast. Hold on, people are calling now.
I love it. That's cool. So, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
You're driving around Mozambique. You come to a village. The people meet you, and they show you the church they have been worshiping in. Describe what you saw.
You would see churches and they would just be like, well, okay, how about this? Here in the U.S., we define a church as a building you go to worship. But there, a church is more of a community because they don't actually have a physical building. And so when these physical buildings would pop up, you know, people are like, what's this? I remember we were building a church once, and at the beginning of the week before we started, there was about 7 members. And by the time that church was done the next Sabbath, it was completely packed, standing room.
And that is almost 200 people.
Exactly.
They just come. Before the church is built, we're drilling wells. Why is that important?
A lot of these people will walk like even 6 to 8 kilometers, so maybe 5 miles a day for water, so they carry it all on their head.
25 liters, which is basically 5 gallons.
Exactly.
That's a lot of water anyway.
And they'll walk and get the water and then bring it back. And so we had to take all our own water with us when we were camping, and anywhere to eat or drink, you had to take everything with you.
Even when you go you walk your 5 miles or 3 miles to get water, and when you get it, it's dirty.
Exactly. A lot of times they'll do what they call surface wells, so that they'll only go down where the rainwater is falling, so it's all muddy and dirty and nasty. And these people have been drinking it their entire lives.
But we're putting a well that has fresh water right on the church grounds.
Exactly. And
How does
it's safe
that
enough I've drinking out of it. It's safe.
It's what?
It's safe enough I've drinking out of it. Drunk out of it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a well. That immediately changes the village's life because you don't have women running off every day to go get water or every other day because it's too much work. What do the women do then?
I don't know. Sit around and talk.
Take care of the kids. No. Well, one of the things that they do is that each of those churches is now a women's literacy training center where we're teaching women how to read and write because only 17% of women in Mozambique can read and write their own name. So that's what's happening in those churches too.
All right, real quick.
All right, you got one for me.
I want to bring the camera, or Ryan Polino up here.
Sure.
Give a big shout out to Elmer, because sometimes he gets really lonely on the road.
So we're going to send this over to Elmer?
Right, I'm gonna.
Okay, so can we get any lights out here to show that they're real people?
Hi, Elmer. Doing this for you, man.
Elmer, you're not going to believe it. You are the most famous guy in town, and Tim has helped to make you that. I'm looking forward to handing this to you in 2 weeks when you and I and Brenda are in the bush in a tent. I'm going to let Brenda cook.
Okay, all right, here.
Take a look. This is Pacific Union College. Thanks, guys.